Well, hello everyone, and welcome to some good old fashioned Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer. That's right, we're doing a randomizer today, finally, with some commentary, as you guys have been wanting for a while. So, you can run this software either on Dolphin or, as my choice, on nintendont. I can make a setup video for you guys if you guys really want me to show off how to use the randomizer, how to make your own seeds, how to participate in races, and do all kinds of fun stuff like that. So, yeah, here we are, jumping on in to the good old randomizer. Yeah, so this randomizer is pretty interesting in how I designed it. So this one has infinite beam ammo, which we all wanted from Metroid Prime 2, obviously. And additionally, we have starting space jump boots, because we all wanted that. And we have starting good old-fashioned Annihilator Beam. So we get the Annihilator Beam off the bat, unlimited ammo for it, so we're going to be shooting a lot of stuff with the Annihilator Beam. And the space jump boots to boost things off. So, yeah, everything is pretty well set up for this. After that, the game is randomized, so that means, just, yeah, it's completely a randomized game. It's a lot of fun. It's just a good time overall. So, yeah, anyway, here's the seed we're going to be replacing. This was actually a 100% file, but it measures things a little bit differently. So, yeah, this is a new. Let's just kick things off. And I'll probably have to reset the controls, which is pretty normal because I prefer the y-axis not inverted or whatever that is. I prefer to be able to point the direction I want to point, not the opposite way. Looking at you there, GTA 5 level of fighting. Uh, I mean, of flying. GTA 5 with the flying thing. Okay, see, the direction is completely off, so we're gonna have to quickly change that, but that's okay. You can change this in the startup menu if you prefer, but anyway. So make sure this one is to yes if you prefer those settings, and then let's just get out of here. So if everything is set up correctly, you'll see we start off with the Annihilator Beam and infinite ammo for it. Also, all gates have been interestingly changed. So this one's probably not going to be violet. See how it's it's a blue gate, it's a cobalt gate instead of a violet gate. That's because of this. So for everybody who doesn't know about the randomizer, let's kind of jump into that. I've been explaining a lot or a little, whatever you want to view it from that way. But yeah, so we get all the starting items we had for Metroid Prime 2, except there's no item loss in this version. So you simply start out without the items, and that's kind of how it's all set up. But you can also set up the game with the randomizer to have any item you want, etc. So I set it up to have the Annihilator Beam because I love the Annihilator Beam. I've done a number of runs with the Annihilator Beam starting. Absolutely love it with unlimited ammo. So yeah, our ammo will never deplete. It will always stay at 50 there. And when we get ammo expansions, since this is 100% walkthrough and all, then we're going to, simply be keeping that. So whatever number it gets up to, it's never going to deplete, unlike the normal game, as you guys know. So yeah, all starting items, as I said, are the same as item loss in the game, except I chose to put in space jump boots and annihilator beam and infinite ammo. So those are some interesting things. Cannonball is also going to make an appearance here. If you guys don't know about Cannonball, I'll explain it more when we actually be grabbing it up here at some point. But yeah, I don't think I've explained this super well, but the game is very, very random here. And that I mean items, and I also randomize the gates. You can randomize the elevators, which I think I'm going to do a run through of pretty soon, where I like randomize the elevators. But that is not happening yet. You actually can't destroy those things with an annihilator beam. Interesting, right? You can also move this crate out of the way if you desire to, but you don't actually need to because we have space jump. So, you can just jump on up here. So, one of the reasons I decided to start out with space jump is it makes a lot of the item collection a little bit easier, a little bit more friendly. Also, we should probably first go see what kind of gate that is. Because, as I said, items are randomized here. We have no idea where the items are, and of course you need certain items to progress through certain sections, as it's a Metroid game, and this is one of those things that makes it really fun. So Aegon access is going to be based on the Emerald Translator. So we might end up getting the translators pretty quickly here. If you don't know about normal randomizers, the translators can be really, really sucky in their locations in a normal run. So you have to check a lot of item locations, but fear not in this case because we're not going to have to do that. I think there might even be a door randomizer out there somewhere, but I have not tried that one. This is Cobalt locked, so we'll probably be getting Cobalt pretty soon here. You can jump on up here for the first item since you have space jump in this version. As I said, this is not the normal version that people have with unlimited Annihilator Beam, but that's what I think is super fun. Okay, so we got the Emerald Translator, so the next logical step then is to go back to grab the item from the elevator to Aegon. So we have Emerald, as I said, and yeah, that's going to come in handy pretty quickly. One of the first items you're probably going to get next is going to be something like the missile launcher, I suspect, but once again, I have no idea because this is a fully randomized seed, and I've never played this seed. I didn't use the spoiler log because everyone has a spoiler log, and anyway. Yeah, I think you guys are getting the idea, but I feel like I'm kind of rambling on here. Let's see. Life support system in a cursed lake. So, yeah, if you guys don't know, the all of the hints in the game have been put in place of the Luminoth lore. So, that's a pretty interesting change, I have to admit. You know, it's all of the lore, including, say, this one right over here, have been altered to actually be to be hints. And there we go, starting power bombs. As you can see now, we have power bombs. We don't have normal bombs, but we have power bombs. This is a pretty interesting seed. And one of the reasons, of course, I'm doing the seed this way instead of, say, the way you would see in the 2020 race, which is very similar to the version of the randomizer I'm using right now. The 2020 race, which had like 100 people in it, and was an amazing racing race. Maybe I'm massively overestimating. Had at least 10 people in it. The 2020 race, if you haven't seen those videos, definitely check them out. I can't say I've seen them all, but they're fun. They're hours long each, and they're lots of Metroid Prime 2 fun with the randomizer. And they explain a lot of the tricks, a lot of the gameplay, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. But basically, the way the randomizer is going to work is, you know, you're going to have to, you know, work with whatever items the game's going to give you and then plot your path accordingly. So you have to have a pretty good idea of kind of what you're doing. So once you have power bombs, you might think, come here, see what this is. Spider ball. That's very interesting because spider ball would not be what I would guess is the item in this area. But we have power bombs, so going to GFMC is not only necessary, but also the logical next move. So this room here that we're in right now actually has no, like, it has almost basically no drop system. So if you want to get a power bomb out of here, you're not going to be able to. You can crack this bad boy open. Let's see what we got. Missile expansion. So in the normal game, you're not actually supposed to. Missile expansions can't actually act as items, but in well, I mean they act as items, but they don't act as a. Why am I not explaining myself well? Missile expansions don't act as you can't like use the missile launcher based on them, but in this version you can. So you know that's pretty good. Now we have the choice of go to Aegon or keep exploring into GFMC and check out what the item is there before moving on to Great Temple, which, you know, may or may not pan out well, but probably will, is my bet on it. So, yeah, it's a, as I said, a very interesting game with some randomized components, and yeah, it's just a whole lot of fun overall, as you guys are going to find out here once I stop rambling on and get about my business. Okay, so what do we pick up? Missile expansion, that's right. Right? Missile expansion? Yeah, also in this game, an interesting feature I programmed into the randomizer, because I got rid of beam ammo, is I've made missile expansions to be 4 missiles instead of 5. Which I know is confusing. Everybody's like, a missile expansion's 5, you know? Like, don't program in extra things. But at least it's not 3.87, which is also what I was considering before I put in a bunch of extra cannonballs. I put in 3 cannonballs into this one, so... Anyway, you guys may be like, I don't understand all this information. What's going on? Why do you pick up beam ammo if you don't need to, you know, etc. That's why I've basically gotten rid of all the beam ammo upgrades in the game. So, yeah. This game is mostly now, it's got no ammo here. So if you ever want to fire off the Any kind of charge combination, my favorite being the Sonic Boom, that now costs you nothing. So that's except missiles. Anyway, first item here, what do we have? Energy tank, we're definitely duping that. So this is the only item in the game that can be duplicated. So what you do is you go over this area, either with the ghetto jump or with the power of, like, space jump boots starting out in the game, which is clearly my personal preference. And after the cutscene, this crate is still here. So you can dupe this item. So since we started out as an energy tank, we get to have 2 energy tanks instead of just 1, which is never actually an item I've seen there. Let's check this gate. We have an amber gate there. So, yeah, then we're going to need Amber Translator to be able to go on to Sanctuary there. But yeah, pretty cool. So there's some other interesting features of starting out the game with this specific set of items. So pretty quickly, Echo Visor can show up, and you can start getting some items you wouldn't normally get behind different Echo gates, because you start out with Annihilator Beam, so we start out with half of the puzzle already solved. If you want to get up here, you can break that wall, etc. Annihilator charge shots also destroy Hive Nests, FYI. So, yeah, I know it's a lot of info in the first part coming at you, but, you got to explain a lot because it's a randomizer. Progressive suits is also a setting that is on in this run, which means the first suit you find will always be the dark suit, because if you found the light suit first, pretty worthless to ever find the dark suit. But grapple and screw attack progression is not on, so that means that we could get grapple beam or screw attack first. Screw attack usually shows up pretty early in the game, as it is very essential to get almost anywhere you want to go. We're going to be able to grab this item, but let's see what it is. Energy tank. Man, this is one of the healthiest seeds I've ever seen, because right off the bat, we already have 3 freaking energy tanks, so that's pretty wonderful, considering I usually walk around with, like, 0 forever, so, yeah. But anyway, that's about going to wrap up the first part, and we're going to go and fight good old our Splinter, good buddy, Dark Splinter, in the next part, and get his item and go see our buddy Moss. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time with the next video. Hit that like button, add to your favorites, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.